Hello, we are here with Henry Fernandez. Henry has lived in New York for over 30 years, and today specifically, we're going to talk about the New York Stock Exchange, which has seen very dramatic effects in the past 20 to 30 years. So, Henry, the first question I want to ask you is how did the place used to look when you first came to New York in the late 1970s?
Yeah, so I actually arrived in New York in 1982, and I worked downtown in the Wall Street area at Lehman Brothers, which was a few blocks down from the New York Stock Exchange. And the exchange in those times was very manual. There was no electronic trading, no machine trading. It was mostly conducted, the buying and selling of securities on the floor of the New York Exchange was conducted by individuals with hand signals. There was a code of the kinds of hand signals that you'd offer as to how many shares you wanted to buy and at what price, and the confirmation was done by the other side, by the buyer or the seller on the other side, with hand signals, and then they will go and write it on a piece of paper, confirmation, and then it will be submitted to somebody in back office, to enter the trade. Extremely manual processes throughout that. So obviously a system like that, with the growth of American capitalism and public companies and the trading of securities, began to evolve dramatically. The volumes were large, so it required a very large number of people, not only on the trading of the floor itself, but also processing of these trades and the like. So now when you roll the time forward to today, obviously with the advent of incredible amount of computing power, a lot of software, and the like, that a lot of that has turned into almost complete electronic trading, in which you place an order into a terminal. There is a buyer and a seller on the other side. It gets matched, by the computer, and it gets processed electronically rather than manually throughout the settlement process. When you buy a security on a day, you have to settle a couple of days later, deliver the cash, and get the certificates back. All of that is done electronically. So what that has caused is an incredible shrinkage of the number of people that are on the floor of the exchange. Today, you could almost have no one on the floor of the exchange. In actuality, many stock exchanges around the world are completely electronic. They don't have anybody on the floor. In the case of the New York Stock Exchange, they have kept a number of people there that do certain types of market making that could be done electronically, but they want to continue to enhance the human touch, of all of that. So quite dramatic changes, and therefore the building of the New York Stock Exchange, which was obviously built, to house so many people and expanded over time to house so many people, then had to find a new life with much fewer people. So now what they do, and you can see this on TV, is that on the floor of the exchange, they have TV shows, they have the ringing of the bell, they have a number of ceremonies, they conduct cocktail parties at the end of the trading day for companies, and the like. Many of the offices have been turned into conference facilities for companies to come and present to shareholders, and all of that. So it has changed, dramatically. And obviously, with all of that, there's also been a change in the neighborhood itself in Wall Street. But that's been the history of the New York Stock Exchange since I arrived in '82 to today in 2018.
So, can you talk a little bit about the first time? I don't know if you remember the first time you went on the floor, and what you did there when the first time you went on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, so I must have taken a tour of the floor of the exchange in 82 or 83, right in the first 1 or 2 years that I arrived in Wall Street to work here, and I was so impressed, by how many people, how the coordination could take place in such a chaotic place, the energy and stamina of the people. So obviously, it was mostly a young person's job because there was, the job was exhausting. People show up at work, even though it was not very long hours, maybe 8 or 9 hours a day, but it was extremely exhausting. And I will see how that will happen. And then at the end of the day, another thing that was interesting is how dirty, in terms of all the ticket, all the orders and the papers, was at the end of the day, because obviously since it was a paper process, everyone made a mistake, they would throw it on the floor, and the like. So after hours, there had to be large crowds of people coming in and sweeping everything in order to prepare the floor of the exchange for the next day.
Perfect. And then, can you talk about what you do there now? I know you've been invited to ring the bell a couple of times. Can you talk about how you've seen the change based on the first time you went there and what you do there now, mostly?
Yeah. So what I typically do that now is three things. I've been ringing the bell, either the opening bell or the closing bell, a few times, and those are ceremonies that are symbolic, of the free enterprise system. That they get shown on TV, people like them. They are status symbols, meaning I go there and I invite clients or invite my employees, and it's a really nice ceremony. You get your picture taken, the excitement of ringing the bell to close the market and all of that. So that's one thing, that I do. Another thing that I do is that, when we have had certain events in the company, launching a new product, particularly traded on the exchange, we hold a cocktail reception after the closing of the market, right there on the floor, with all the screens, and you can see all the prices, you can see all the machinery, etc. So it's good. We serve champagne and hors d'oeuvres, and people like that environment because it's a big floor with high ceilings, a lot of technology, very well lit. So it serves as a good place for that. And the third thing that we do, either myself with our company or with other companies, is that we hold certain types of conferences, particularly conferences in which we gather our company to describe what we do and how we do it, and potential shareholders and analysts that come and listen to our presentation. And for that, the exchange has created conference centers and conference facilities to do all of that with catering. So very well done, and the rooms are gorgeous, very high ceiling, very spacious, a lot of engraving at the very top. It's a very nice place.
Well, thank you so much for interviewing. That was Henry Fernandez talking about changes in the New York Stock Exchange from the early 1980s to today. Thank you.
You're welcome.